The pain, the passion, it's insane.
After 5 short months, it's the final round of the Superside FIM Sidecar World Championship. And this weekend, we're in the east of Germany at the famous Sachenring circuit. Well, we've had 7 rounds in 5 short months since Brands Hatch. Tim and Tristan Reeves wrapped up the championship as long ago as Rijeka and round 6, but the real interest is going to be whether Tero Manninen can take 2nd position in the series. While the Sachsenring track here in East Germany, just 2.281 miles around, lap record of 1 minute 30.9 held by Jörg Steinhausen and Trevor Hopkinson from a German championship round 2 years ago. And let's go on board with the new world champions, Tim and Tristan Reeves, around this fantastic circuit. Top speed of just over 145 miles an hour on this short track before heavy braking into the first tight right-hand hairpin. And then it's the run down the hill and the really tight, twisty section. You've seen the MotoGP bikes here, and it's very difficult to get out of 1st and 2nd gear around this section. Another hairpin right. Lots of wheel spin from that 200 horsepower Suzuki engine. Through this, another tight left-hand corner, very difficult to keep the sidecar wheel on the floor, even though it's very slow. And then hard acceleration down this swooping hill towards the bottom half of the circuit. Flat out under the bridge at about 130 miles an hour before this left-hander that leads back up the hill on the other side of the track. Another blind left-hander coming up. Lots of left-handers on this anti-clockwise circuit, of course, giving the passengers a lot of work to do. And then this fast, flat-out right kink where the passengers really got to try and get the grip on the back wheel. The run down the hill before hard braking into this 90-degree left. Very tricky circuit, and first time a lot of the guys have actually been here as well. Well, short acceleration back up to this fantastic final corner. Off camber uphill and away back to the start and finish line to complete another lap. And that's from our onboard chauffeurs, Tim and Tristan Reeves. While in contrast to our onboard lap, qualifying was held in very wet conditions, and it was Tero Manninen and Pekka Koismanen, the Flying Finns, that took their first ever pole position. They probably thought it was ice on the track.
Certainly no danger of that, Ian. Well, Ian's going to scuttle off down to the start grid. 2 races to come here from our final round at the FIM World Sidecar event for 2005. 88 there, Tero Manninen on the pole position for the Finn. He'll be happy with that. So I can see Ian down on the grid now with the microphone, ready to get a few words from 1 or 2 of our competitors.
Tony, front row start, but qualifying was wet, now it's dry. Is that going to cause any problems?
I don't know, it is a different circuit. The first time we drive here. But I think it's very heavy for the passenger, I think. And I hope of a good start for the first corner. It's small, and I hope of a good race.
So would you prefer it more if it was still wet?
I hope tomorrow wet.
Okay, good luck, Tony.
Thank you.
So as we wait now for the riders to come under starters' orders, Ian's little legs are carrying him back up into the commentary tower. There is Tristan Reeves with Tim, his brother, the driver of that 77 outfit. Of course, the new world FIM Sidecar champions for 2005. Okay, Yang is back with us here in the tower, and well, what are we expecting from this one, mate?
Well, it's Sepp Doppler and Bernard Wagner just out of position on the grid there. It's very cold down on the grid, the rain's held off, And of course, all the practice and qualifying was done in wet conditions, so it's a bit of an unknown for all of these guys at the moment. First real time out in the dry.
Sprint race, 10 laps. Here we go.
Well, a bit of a scrappy start from Tim and Tristan Reeves and from Sebastian Delanoy on the second row of the grid. Didn't get away well, and that looks like that's Andy Laidlaw and Patrick Farrance that have gone off, and they've taken Delanoy with them. So Sebastian Delanoy and Nicolas Bidol, the French pairing that debuted in Assen last time out. And Andy Laidlaw, not a good start for those two.
Now, the professional sidecar driver that he is now, I'm just kind of wondering what he's going to do with himself for the next few months, because that young man spent all his money on just travelling from one race meeting to another. Unless he maybe takes a trip down to Australia and do some sidecar racing down there. There are the two Frenchmen at the back of the pack at the moment. Who is at the leads? I have a suspicion that could be a 77 outfit.
Yeah, I didn't think Tim got off the line that well, but he's made his way to the front very quickly. Delanoy and Bidol there got a lot of work to do now. They were hoping for to get on the podium at this event. Now let's see what happened. Yeah, Reeves, well, he was round the outside of Mannanen on the first corner. That was a good move from Tim, and as they all come fumbling in, well, Laidlaw just got it wrong, didn't he? Just locked the back end up, and he was up the inside of Delanoy. Delanoy had nowhere to go and had to spin. At least they didn't collide with each other.
I think in fairness to Andy, I think he was trying to avoid contact with somebody else in front when he locked up. But not to worry, he's back in the race. But there's the young man that's out there in front, Tim Reeves, with his brother Tristan in the chair. The new world champions already demonstrating why they are the quickest two in sidecar racing in the world at the moment. There's the outfit. Is that the 86 outfit there? That's the one that I think that Andy Laidlaw tried to avoid a collision with.
Yeah, that was actually the hard-to-read number 66 machine of Stuart Muldoon and his standing passenger Mark Cox. And there is Andy Laidlaw trying. Well, he's got a bit between his teeth after that gravel trip, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to wonder why he's got a new sponsor for rear tyres after that. But black line in it all the way around. There is Stuart Muldoon on that green outfit. You're quite right. Pretty hard to read at this distance.
Yeah, get some decent numbers, Stuart.
Yeah, Stuart, you can afford it. You're a rich man. Well, that's what they keep telling me. So it's Mannanen in second place, and here comes Muldoon. Well, he's going like a train out of control.
Yeah, just was slipping past Thomas Fuchel. Well, ran a bit wide, and Fuchel got back past him. But Mark Cox, rent-a-passenger Mark Cox on the side of Stuart Muldoon this weekend. Regular passenger Paul Napton already booked up to go on holiday. So Stuart and Mark, well, they've got back past... No, they haven't got back past Fuchel. That looks like Van Gils has slipped past Muldoon as well. So in that passing manoeuvre originally, Muldoon got it wrong and dropped back 2 places.
It's getting interesting, this particular scrap, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's a great showing from the number 9 machine of Thomas Fuchel and Yuri Perchilek as Muldoon goes round the outside of Martin and Tony Van Gils. So a determined Scotsman chasing after a determined Czech. Now, where have we heard that before?
Yeah, obviously Muldoon's been on the haggis last night, so I'm not sure what the Czechs eat, but I think a lot of potatoes.
But Thomas Fuchel and Yuri Perchilek, they haven't really figured in the championship this year, but they obviously like this Sachenring circuit. They qualified in 6th position in the wet, and they're having a fantastic ride, but Muldoon has made the passing manoeuvre stick that time around. So Muldoon up to 5th position, I think it is. That's Billy Galros and Johnny Briggs in 4th position on the Sourcecom BG Sweden sidecar machine.
Not been the greatest of year for these two. We were expecting something a little bit better or a little bit more special from them.
Yeah, they've been there or thereabouts, but only one podium to show for it. And well, that was Mannanen flashing through, Pivarinter in 2nd. There is Billy Galros in that 4th position. And we wait and see who is now in 5th place. Is it Muldoon? It is Muldoon. Martin and Tony Van Gils have squeezed past Thomas Fuchel and Yuri Perchilek. Well, Fuchel, remember, only racing sidecars for the last 3 years, a former solo racer. So not doing a bad job against these experienced guys.
First 2 going through, 3rd now 4. So it's tight at the moment. The 2 Reeves brothers haven't really got that much of an advantage over the rest. Oh, that's a familiar outfit. Well, the man shaking his head.
Adolf Hanny shaking his head there. I don't know what the problem between him and Mike Rosser has been there, but they seem to have dropped down the order. We'd expect to see them further up, but this is getting tight for the scrapping in the midfield, and I saw Delanoy making his way through there as well. Well, Fukel has got his way back past Martin and Tony Van Gils as Muldoon's pulling away ahead of them. Van Gils dropping back behind the Czech pairing, and that looks like Tom Hanks and Phil Biggs on the second of the Team Hanny machines making their way up through the field. Now, is he going to try up the inside into that? Not quite. There's Muldoon.
Got a lousy start, Tom Hanks, that's for sure, but he'll put his head down and he'll certainly go for it. 10 laps, it's a sprint race, so you've got to get it right. Oh, up the inside.
Just about held it. Big slide on the way into the corner there from Martin Van Gils, but well, they're up into 6th position now as the rest of the field stream through. Rocha and Hanny there.
That's a wonderful shot, that, isn't it? Them going through that corner like that.
Superb watching the passengers moving quickly from the right to the left to transfer the weight across to that sidecar wheel. Keep the third wheel on the ground as much as possible. Look at this scrap. This is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all the way down to about 13th position.
At the moment, I think it's follow the Van Gils.
Well, Van Gils just pulling away from Fukel now. Fukel acting as a bit of a buffer. And I think he's going to get passed by, that looks like Sepp Doppler and Bernhard Wagner, the Austrians.
Tom Hanks behind, laying in wait, the Brummy boy.
Yeah, he just had to slam on the brakes a little bit more there. And behind Tom Hanks, Sebastian Delanoy making up quickly ground from that first corner spin.
Out front, fastest lap, Tim and Tristan Reeves. Well, these two, they have proved since coming into the Roberts team for this year that they are the champions to be. Of course, Steve Webster sadly decided to call it a day this season and hung up his helmet.
Yeah, that was a great shame to see Webster and Woodhead retire, but that looks like a retirement for number 9, Thomas Fukel and Yuri Perchadek. Well, great shame for them. They were going really well in this race and looking for a top 6 finish, so that's not going to happen now. But that's freed up Tom Hanks to chase after Sepp Doppler, and that looked like Steve Norbury just trying to nip up the inside of number 69. Very tight down that start-finish straight. I don't know whether he made it.
Well, Rocha back in that group. There is Hanks, number 11. Phil Biggs in the chair. These two have been together for some years, from 2 legendary racing families, as one should describe.
Yeah, but look at this, another racing family, although obviously Father Brian Reeves, top national runner in the UK, never made it to Grand Prix, but his boys are streaking away at the front of this one.
Now, what Daddy couldn't do, Son's done it for him, but I bet he's a very proud man at the moment with these two lads. Because Tristan, newly married, of course.
Yeah, wife Zoe couldn't make it to Assen last time around because she wasn't well.
Surely not the effect of marrying Tristan, I should hope, but they're out there now and they're having a great time. They're out front. It's where they've been most of the season, because we've no Jorg Steinhausen here, which is a shame that Jorg has decided to not compete with us at the last round.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to see Steiny in action around this circuit. Says it's his favourite track. Obviously held the lap record, but we saw fastest lap Tim and Tristan Reeves was 0.2 of a second under that Steinhausen lap record. So, well, Reeves will be happy about that one. There's Billy Galross in 4th position, closing in on Pekka Pivarinta and Peter Wall. And that's number 69, Uwe Gottlieb, with a fairly battered-looking machine. He was out in the German Championship race and came to grief, but managed to get it all patched up for this sprint race. But Pivarinta, 3rd position. Billy Galross in 4th. That machine of Pivarinta's is actually Billy Galross's old machine, so I don't know how Galross is going to feel with that in front of him at the moment.
Getting beaten by his old bike. Well, you know what they say, it's not the machinery you use, it's the man that twists the right-hand grip.
Yeah, but Galross looks like he's twisting it a bit harder at the moment because he is closing in on Pivarinta. And this is a fast run down the hill. Is he going to have a dive up the inside into the left? He is. He's got to get it stopped.
That's late.
Oh. Well, he managed to hold it together, did he?
Oh.
Yeah, he's held on.
Well, I thought the passengers were going to be exchanging phone numbers then for a moment, but that was close.
Right up over the hill. Billy Galros now in third position. Well, we were saying slightly disappointing year for the Swede earlier, but he's in a podium position at the moment, although he's got the Finnish and Swedish pair of Peverinter and Wall right behind him, and they'll sure want another podium.
Bit of a Scandinavian get-together, this, isn't it? With the exception of these two.
Reeves just looks like he's having fun now, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Sliding
he's having
that
a
around.
play out there, you know.
Mannanen lifting the sidecar wheel through that difficult hairpin. Galros now beginning to just pull away slightly from Peverinter. Well, Mannanen's a little too far ahead, I think, for Galros. There he is. That's the gap. I'm not sure if he can close that down, but he's already put 10 bike lengths in front of Peverinter, so he's definitely on a charge.
Well, they're still together, and the decision hasn't been made as yet, but as you say, Billy Galros looking decisively quick.
Yeah, and that's an interesting style from Peter Wall, the passenger to Peverinter. They're getting right out around the side of that sidecar wheel arch. Peverinter's closed back up. Is he going to have a look into this? Yeah. He's definitely got a better run there, but
yeah, final lap.
Tim and Tristan Reeves, flames spitting out the side of that Team Roberts LCR Suzuki. This is the real tricky section. Third position, Billy Galros and Johnny Briggs. Closely shadowed by Pekka Peverinter and Peter Wall. Well, this is going to go right down to the end.
Yep, we're going to see a last-minute corner dive by somebody. Oh, Reevesy! Well, he doesn't care about that tyre. that's a second-hand one now.
Complete broadside with the sidecar wheel a foot in the air. That's just superb control.
I think Tristan may be having words about it afterwards because he was almost catapulted out of the outfit.
Oh, it's tight further down the order as well, isn't it? Battles all the way through, but not for this pair at the front. Laying big darkies all around this circuit. Stuart Muldoon and Mark Cox, and they're in fifth position. So a good ride from Stuart Muldoon.
Reeves leads, as they say. Tim and Tristan, the two brothers. Tim, of course, the older of the two. Tristan, the younger brother, in the chair, doing the work.
Just one more corner to go, and another checkered flag lifting that sidecar. He's just enjoying himself now.
Well, they've done it. Last sprint race of the year. Now, what's going to happen further down the field as they all make these last-minute dashes for the last couple of corners and, of course, the finishing flag?
Well, we wait to see who's going to get that third position across the line. It was Billy Galros. So, the results confirmed. Tim and Tristan Reeves taking the win ahead of Tero Mannanen and Pekka Koismanen. Galros pipping Peverinter for third position. Muldoon and Cox are fine fifth. Hanks in sixth, and Delanoy and Biddle recovered to seventh.
So that's the sprint race done and dusted. We've still got one big one yet to come as they go on to the podium. Tim and Tristan Reeves there. Billy Galros on the right-hand side. Tero Mannanen on the other side. The two Hat Reeves, that's what they call these. And of course the traditional playing of the national anthem of Great Britain. Heard that a few times this year, that's to say the least. There is Tim, Tristan his brother beside. Bit of a family affair at the moment because Johnny Briggs there, Tristan's brother-in-law. Keep it in the family, that's what they say. Why not? Very emotional. I like his sideburns as well. Ringo Starr sideburns from Tristan Reeves. Here we go. It's shampoo showering time. The champagne corks come off. Ian's going to dash in if he can with a microphone and have a chat with one or two of the lads.
Billy Galros, Johnny Briggs, another podium for you this year following on from Rijeka. That looked like a really good race, Billy.
Yeah, I had a good race with Peverinter, and he's a fair to race with, and I've enjoyed it. Really good lad to race again.
And Johnny, obviously the qualifying all being in the wet conditions and that race drive, did it give you any unexpected moments?
Not really. I thought it was going to be a bit tricky, seeing as we'd be going that much faster, and yeah, didn't know whether what you had to passenger and what you didn't have to passenger. But it's all pretty basic round here. It's sort of left and right, so there's no sort of little flicks or anything. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was a good safe race, really.
Tero Mannanen and Pekka Koismanen, second position in that race. It was a really good ride for you. Did you try and keep with Tim Reeves?
No, because we know that in dry track we can't
we can't give the answers with them. So I check the time what they send us and just trying to keep the second position, and that we do.
Pekka, that second position puts you into second place in the World Championship. Now, you're a school teacher. What are your pupils going to think of this back in Finland?
I think we will have a little party in the classroom, some cake and apple juice. That's it.
What do the pupils think of their crazy headmaster then?
They are very interested. They want always to know where we have been, and we look the maps and things like that.
So it helps them with their geography lessons?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, one more race to go in this year's World Championship. Now, if it's raining, do you think it's possible for you to win?
Yeah, I think so, because what we do in the qualifier, it's almost 1 second. Team was almost 1 second behind us. So if it's gonna rain, I think we can beat him. I think so.
How will the Finnish people feel for Finland to get second in the World Championship?
It's a big thing in Finland. We made a history. Yeah.
Well, with one more race to go, let's have a look at the standings. Tero Manninen there moves now into second place above Jorg Steinhausen and Trevor Hopkinson. Pavarinta, Laidlow, who, well, he got back on the racetrack in that last one. Billy Garros, Knight, Van Gils, Norbury and Rocha down there in 10th. Tim and Tristan Reeves then dropping down onto the grid. Second position, there are our pole sitters, Tero Manninen, alongside the race one or the sprint winners, of course, Tim and Tristan Reeves. And at number 2 alongside them, it's Mr. Van Gils. But Ian's on his way down with his microphone.
Tim, final race of the season. Sum up how you feel it's gone for you.
Yeah, it couldn't have been better, really, could it? To be world champion, yeah, spot on. Yeah, just hope we can have a good win here and finish the season on a high. And we've got to try and get some money together to run a team for next year, obviously, without a ride next year. So hopefully we need the win to set us off in a good mood for the winter. So, yeah, be all right.
So a bit of stunning news there that Dave Roberts not intending to run a team next year. So the World Champions looking for sponsorship. Those out there that are interested in, well, as you can see, plenty of space on those outfits to put your name. Crowd, got a good crowd turned out, as you can see. Here we go, the gold race gets underway, 22 laps. Who, I have to ask, as Ian comes rushing back into the commentary box, will win this one, or who's going to get through the first corner? That could be Stuart Muldoon.
Oh, yeah, that was a bit tight into that first corner, but they all seem to have got away with it this time. Andy Laidlow, I just saw, well, there is Andy Laidlow, close up behind Steve Norbury and Scott Parnell.
Well, at least he got past the first corner this time.
Yeah, fantastic shots through this tricky section. They're just spinning and just trying to get some drive out of these machines, and they're just wheel spinning all over the place. Trying on the inside, trying on the outside, back to the inside, and well, just as long as he doesn't try over the top, really.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a rather good idea. Who's out front? Well, that looks... No, there is Reevesy. Looks like the number 5 outfit that's in the lead at the moment.
Yeah, Tim and Tristan didn't seem to get a good start. We go back now looking at Andy Laidlow, and he went well. That's Steve Norbury slipping up the inside of Tom Hanks and Phil Biggs. So Hanks just getting a look at the wobble he was getting on through that fast left-hander there. Well, that's Norbury up another place, and now Andy Laidlow's got to find his way past Tom Hanks. But up the front, it was the number 5 machine of Pekka Pavarinta and Peter Wall. I was about to say, Reevesy made a bit of a hash of the start and found himself down in about 4th position, I think. Hanks, that cold, maybe cold tyres, I think.
If the thing had a petrol tank in front of him, you'd say that was giving him a tank slapper, wouldn't you? But
look at them 3 abreast coming into this dead stop hairpin. It's Tero Manninen, big lock up from somebody behind, but the Finns fighting amongst themselves. Manninen now taking the lead in this 22 lap race. Tim and Tristan Reeves were on board with the new world champions now. in third position. Just look at this. I mean, it's such a slow corner, but 200 horsepower trying to go down on the road. And that's the result. You just can't control these machines. You know, if you were an engineering student, you wouldn't design one with 3 wheels like this, but trying to keep them on these racetracks at speeds of 150, 160 miles an hour, and you can just see how much hard work it is.
Well, this is the race now. Can the new world champions reinstate themselves back at the front? I'm fairly sure that that's exactly where they're going to go, within a lap or two.
Well, Taro Mannanen just pulling away a bit at the front now as they come through this fast right-hand flick and back down the hill. Can Reevesy do anything about Pivarinta? And set off after Mannanen. Tries, won't make it around the outside there, I don't think.
Willie. No. Tries the inside this time.
Switching back to the inside. Can he get a run and outbrake Pivarinta? No, not this time around. Taking a wide sweeping line and using a lot of grass as well. Putting Tristan over the grass, getting a run up this steep hill across the start and finish line to start lap 2.
He's going to have a go on the brakes. He's going to have a go. This could end in disaster. And it doesn't. Oh, he's using all the track to keep it on there.
Well, it was a big broadside into that hairpin, wasn't it? And making the outfit as wide as possible so Pivarinta couldn't fight back. But now, clear track in front to Mannanen. Look at the black lines. And that's coming off the sidecar tyre. So that shows you how much they're pushing these machines.
Well, you don't have to worry about conserving tyres for the next round now. This is the last round of the season, the last race. It's all let it hang out and to hell with it. We've got winter to rebuild the outfits and to find some money for some tyres.
So, Taro Mannanen and Pekka Koismanen, pole position, leading the race at the moment. Billy Gauros chasing after Pivarinta in 4th, a replay of the first race. Martin and Tony Van Gils, they got away better in this one. And they're chasing Sebastian Delannoy and Nicholas Biddle. So, obviously, they kept it on the island first time around, and they're now showing in the top 5.
Oh, comes Stuart Muldoon. He's on a mission as well.
Looked like Muldoon was having a bit of a dive bomb under Billy Gauros there, didn't it? But Van Gils, flames spitting out the side, and we're back with Steve Norbury, Tom Hanks and Phil Biggs. Well, I'm sure Scott Parnell could feel the front of that machine as they dive up the inside into the final corner. Have they got through? Well, we'll have to wait and see now. Reevesy going through.
Oh, side by side. Oh, sticks it back on him again. No messing around.
Well, world champions or not, Taro Mannanen didn't give a flying fin there, did he?
Definitely not. Reevesy will be saying, OK, you want to play it that way? Coming up next, episode 3, I think. And Tristan looks behind to see who's in 3rd place.
Well, here it is, Tim and Tristan just late on the brakes into the hairpin. Just locked the back wheel up. That was the problem. Ran a little bit wide. Tried to broadside it. Couldn't shut the door on Mannanen. And Mannanen just kept it nailed and said, I'm coming through, whatever you think.
Here we go again. This time we're on board with Tim and Tristan Reeves chasing Taro Mannanen. Well, this is going to be a breathtaking little lap or two, I think.
Well, he's got to run on him out of the corner, and
here he comes. This time it's clean. Or is it?
Just about had to really stop the machine quick there, and but he was up the inside. Mannanen had nowhere to go.
Except, of course, on the grass.
Back.
Yep. Let's not rule out the man that's in 3rd place at the moment, because he's closed up on these two while they've been scrapping amongst themselves. Look at the crowd diving from fence to fence. That's how exciting sidecar racing is when it's like this. It certainly is spectacular stuff. Look at the crowd, it's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic turnout for this final race, and the weather's obviously helped that. And here we are on board again with Steve Norbury and Scott Parnell.
And they pulled a gap, I think, over, well, that's got to,
I think,
Tom Hanks behind.
No, I think that's actually Mike Rosher and Adolf Harney,
okay.
Tom Hanks' team leaders. So Hanks has gone by. There is Delannoy and Biddle. And what are they, in 6th position? Well, there's the leader, Tim and Tristan Reeves. Number 88, Mannanen 2nd. Gauros and Johnny Briggs in 4th position behind Pivarinta. And that looked like Muldoon and Cox in 5th. So Delannoy in 6th, Martin and Tony Van Gils in 7th.
But the lead in the hands of the world champions. Tim and Tristan Reeves, second and thirds, and here comes Stuart Muldoon.
Well, had the door firmly shut on him there, didn't he? But that is the racing line that Billy Garros is on. Did Muldoon get a run? Not quite, trying a different line.
Cut up the inside of him, I think.
Yeah, trying a wide line to keep the speed up through that corner. Has it worked? Well, no, he's coming under attack from Delanoy now.
Yeah, Delanoy said, you move over, you make the space and I'll take it, thank you.
Well, you've got to be brave to outbrake Stuart Muldoon, and, I'm sure there was a nudge there.
I think Muldoon's about to get croissant.
Well, there's the other French pairing of Jean and Gregory Clues on that Zone Rouge LCR Suzuki. They've had a good season, they've enjoyed themselves, and hopefully we'll see them back next year as well.
Oh, we're hoping we'll see the world champions back, because the team is about to, as they say, close down. So Dave Roberts, after the illness that he suffered this year, the problems that he's had, is deciding I think he wants to take a very much back seat. But let's hope the two lads can pick up the right kind of sponsorship so they can continue to race, because it would be a crying shame if that wasn't to happen.
Yeah, for sure. It will be a shame, big shame to see the team Roberts set up disappear from the paddock.
Where's he going?
Trying desperately hard to get past Galros. Obviously just kept it nailed through that right-hander.
And if that grass had been wet, that would have been a different story.
Well, I don't think Stuart would have cared, would
no,
he?
He's
self-proclaimed rainmeister, so, grass, tarmac, curb, doesn't really matter, does it?
Not to a Scotsman, no.
But that's allowed Delanoy to close back up on Muldoon and let Billy Galros get away. So fastest lap again, and another couple of tenths quicker. Well, behind there is Delanoy getting past Stuart Muldoon. Said that earlier wide line and cost him a bit of time. There is Adolf Haney with driver Mike Rocha right up behind Steve Norbury and Scott Parnell.
Well, here we are again, back on board with Norbury and Parnell. Of course, Steve Norbury the driver, Scott Parnell the passenger. We're looking over his shoulder now at Mike Rocha behind on the 55 outfit. They've had a pretty wretched season as well, haven't they?
Well, it's been an up and down year for the German-Swiss pairing, hasn't it? But this track they should know quite well. And they're now putting Norbury under a bit of pressure. This is the last time Norbury's going to be riding this machine. It's been sold to Sean and Mark Hegarty in the UK. But it looks like they've gone down behind Mike Rocha and Adolf Haney now. Yeah, clear track behind us. So Rocha and Haney moving up through the field. And Muldoon
he's still at it.
He likes that tight inside line coming down the hill, doesn't he?
Scotland versus Francais. This is going to be an interesting outcome.
So that's third, fourth, fifth and sixth positions all together. Pavarinta just holding that third place at the moment. Muldoon doesn't seem to get that final corner right, and then has to really try and make it up everywhere else, doesn't he?
Yep.
Well, did Pavarinta make a mistake there? And that looked like a nudge as well, because Pavarinta was third and now he's back in fifth position. 36, Steve Norbury. You say that outfit now sold to Sean and Mark Hegarty. Does that mean we're going to see the two Hegarty twins racing in World Sidecar for next year? Well, that would be an interesting concept, wouldn't it?
I would like to think so, because they're a fairly fiery pair and pretty talented, so...
Meanwhile, Stuart Muldoon chasing after Pekka Pavarinta. Billy Galros and Johnny Briggs holding third position again, as they did in the first race. Delanoy is in fourth. Muldoon looked like he was making a run on Pavarinta. Yes. John and Gregory Clues again, they're running in, I think, about 15th position.